Laura with you today for Technique Tuesday. This month we are focusing on metal dies. So I have 3 metal dies here. All 3 of these are currently available in the shop, and I will make sure that the links, or Jessica has the links to put them down below. So this is the first one we're going to play with. I love this die. It's large. It makes this gorgeous, like, lacy die. It's beautiful. I'm going to be using this die, which is a newer die from Echo Park. It's part of their new winter collection. But what I'm going to do is use it to create some other embellishments. And then I also have my third die. Hold the phone. Where did it go? Right here. This one is from iCrafter. This is a set of alphabet dies. They're called the Heather lowercase die. And we're going to use them to create some titles with it. I'm going to be working with a heritage photo today. So I have this photo. This is a digital reprint. This is a 4-generation photo. So this is my grandmother. This is my great-grandmother. This is my great-great-grandmother. This is my great-great-great-grandmother. So it's a 4-generation photo. And I have the original saved, archived, preserved, protected, but this is the digital reprint. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that for my photo today. And then what I want to do is I want to show you a couple. Oh, and I have 3 papers. So this will give you an idea of the colors we're going to play with today. These are the colors. And then I pulled out this die cut sheet. These papers are all from Maggie Holmes' new line, Market Square. It's really pretty. I love this collection. And I also pulled out this cut apart because I thought I would grab some of these pretty tags. And maybe this one that says "So Sweet," a couple little things from there. But we're going to create the majority of our layout using our dies. So I have some nice, really nice thick paper that I want to use to create some embellishments with. And then I have this Dazzling Diamond glitter cardstock from Altenew, and we're going to use this to make some glittery embellishments for our layout too. I have some Distress Oxide in Victorian Velvet, Milled Lavender, Tattered Rose, and Speckled Egg. And then I also have some alcohol markers from Nuvo. I have the 360 Aqua Sky, 432 Violet Breeze, and 449 Delicate Rose. So those are what we're going to need to get started. Now, I am going to start by prepping this white cardstock and the glitter cardstock and get it ready for me to die cut. So I'll show you how I prep the cardstock, what I'm going to do to add color, and then we'll die cut everything, and then we'll come back and put our layout together. Let's get started by coloring up some of this paper and glitter cardstock and getting it ready to die cut. First up, I'm going to use these Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to use this smaller sheet of thick cardstock. This is all the cardstock I ended up needing. I didn't end up needing that larger piece. But I'm going to go ahead and I am going to ink this almost into thirds. 1/3 is going to have the Victorian Velvet and Milled Lavender colors. And I'm going to go ahead and let those colors play nice with each other. I'm going to let them mix and smooth out together, which will give me a really nice color variation when I die cut. The next section I'm going to use is the Tattered Rose. Tattered Rose is this really pretty, it's not pink like you would imagine it to be. It has some pink kind of tones to it, but it's a little more of a vintage color, but it matched my photo really well, and I wanted to include it. Plus, I love it. It might be one of my favorites. And then the third section is going to get the Speckled Egg, and I'm just going to add enough ink to get a color. I don't mind in this particular technique. You don't need to have like a smooth blend. You almost want some variations and some lights and some darks because we're going to die cut this. And so having those kind of variations on your page is going to give your finished die cut piece a little bit more interest, a little variation in color. So something that you might not want when you're dealing with like a card panel or something like that, you actually do kind of want and like when you are die cutting your inked panels. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of die cutting. I like to prep all of the paper I'm going to be die cutting and then die cut everything all at once. So next up, I'm taking this diamond glitter cardstock from Altenew. I'm using the broad side of my alcohol markers, not the fine tip side. I use the fine tip side when I want to color like a stamped image and I don't want to mess that tip up. But the broad side, the wider side, this is really the only thing that I use it for. So I am going to go ahead. I'm going to take one sheet of that glitter cardstock and I'm going to pop it 3. So one in the pink alcohol marker, one in the green, one in the purple. And then I'm going to color up a section of this second sheet of cardstock, this glitter cardstock with just the purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use that for my letters. This is my most favorite way to get colored glitter embellishments, letters, anything, because what I love about this is that this glitter cardstock, this diamond glitter cardstock from Altenew, it doesn't shed. So you can die cut. It die cuts like butter. It doesn't shed. It works really, really, really good. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all these pieces of my die cut that I've die cut, all these, hold on, rephrase. I'm going to take all the papers I've colored. I'm going to place the metal dies onto those papers, secure them with some washi tape, and then batch die cut everything. So I'm going to die cut all the letters, all those leaves, and then I'm going to take my 3 pattern papers that I showed you at the beginning, and using those pattern papers, I'm going to die cut 3 of those floral lace dies. So we've colored everything. Now we're going to die cut everything with our Sizzix die cut machine. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a mat for my photo. So this is this purple paper that I showed you at the beginning. I die cut one of those floral lace dies from Altenew. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a mat for my photo. I'm just trimming my photo a little bit. It had a really kind of heavy white border and I wanted to preserve some of that white border, but it was a little too thick. And so I'm going to go ahead and just put it onto this purple paper. Next up, let's design our page and get an idea of where we're going to put everything. So I want to start by kind of resting this light pink die under my photo. Then I'm going to go ahead and have the purple and this aqua color one kind of coming in, one from the top right, one from the bottom left. Using my T-square ruler to keep everything nice and straight. So I'm going to get my photo straight and then I can go ahead and place that pink one across the bottom of my photo. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess of the die cuts that are hanging off the edge. But we are not going to waste those. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and kind of place those on either side of that pink one for a little pop of color. I will admit that by the time I get finished with this layout, some of that green one, well, like 99% of that green one gets covered up. Not necessarily intentionally, but I ended up, yeah, you'll see. I did end up kind of covering it up when I went to embellish. It happens. I'm not going to worry too much about it. It all worked out in the end. It looks great. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and use these little leaf sprays these die cut leaves, the ones that had the glitter and then the ones where we ink blended. I'm going to create a couple of little clusters, kind of alternating the colors and the designs of the leaves until I am happy with those. Make sure there's a nice mix of colors in each cluster. And then we can just go ahead and stick those down with my tape runner. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and add these die cut purple glitter letters. I love how these turned out. They turned out fabulous. And they're such a nice small size that I can spell out a nice long word like generations, and it fits perfectly. So I'm using my T-square ruler to keep everything straight, and then I'm going to add my title. Next up, I want to use some of those cut aparts from the cut apart pieces. I'm really just going to use two. I'm going to use that kind of pinky purpley flower, and I'm going to use the tag. And what I'm going to actually do is fussy cut that flower right out of the block. And then I'm also going to go ahead and use this tag. I'm just trimming the tag off. There was just a touch of like I overcut it, so there was a little bit of the tag on either side of it. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a haircut. And then I'm going to add a hole. I end up initially I thought I would put like ribbon or trim or something in the hole, but I ended up tucking it underneath my title. So it really didn't, kind of got all covered up. Now I'm going to fussy cut this flower. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room to write. So I'm taking this pattern from that Market Square collection, and I'm just going to cut myself a little journaling block. I actually don't add the journaling on the video or in the close-ups. I kind of set the journaling aside because I need to do a little bit of research. I don't have everyone in this photo's name memorized, so I want to make sure that I get all the names right before I did my journaling. So I'm just going to pop it in here kind of up and under the die cuts, and then around, and then I'm going to tuck it underneath my photo. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut that flower in half that I fussy cut, put one half of it above my journaling block, one half of it under my journaling block, get my tag into place, and this layout is finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll give some of these die cut techniques a try, and be sure to grab some of these gorgeous dies if you haven't yet. These are some really, really great, fabulous, versatile dies you can grab in the shop. Have a great day. Bye.